Damn, bitch.
Yeah. One shows care, the other shows violence. Might be foreshadowing what Jesse will do.
So let me get this straight. You got jacked by a guy named Spooch. Yo, what's his name matter? But hey, you know, if you're looking for a reason not to go do this thing... Hey, did I say that? Because I'll go do it myself, right? It's just... I'm on probation. So you gonna do it? Yeah.
That's not a really confident yeah, Jesse. If you remember Jesse's expression and feelings when he shot Tuco, right? It's that feeling of, you know, he clearly doesn't want to do any of this, but he has to anyways because of dire circumstances. Heavy breathing, kind of also the way he's acting and all. Shuts the door very strongly, right? Kind of like, all right, let's do this. But it does feel like he's just trying to postpone this because, again, like I said, clearly he doesn't really want to do this.
I will mess you up. And how you want to play this? Huh? You know, your call. Your funeral, Jack.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Honey, you blocking the mailbox.
Oh. Yeah, sorry.
You have a great day.
Right on, you too.
Wow. Oh, this place does not look good at all. That's a mannequin? Ugh. Don't know what. I don't know. I don't want to know what they've done to the mannequin. The cigarettes on the bras and that table. Oh. Oh, it's a kid.
You will receive the ultimate mixture of cutlery tonight in the steel knockout. Every phone line jammed.
Not what he or I was expecting, that's for sure.
Pieces.
No other channel works, huh? Only one option. Wonder if that's gonna be the theme of the episode, where there's only one option and you can only choose that option despite you wanting to choose anything else. Basically Jesse's situation, right?
Hi, Walt and Skylar. This is Gretchen Schwartz calling to say hello. I'm down from Santa Fe today, and I was just thinking about you both.
Hello, Gretchen.
Gretchen, I'm so...
Oh no, here we go.
What is it?
I can't begin to thank you and Elliot for what you've done.
Oh no.
The money for Walt's treatment, it's just...
Oh no.
It saved us.
The cat's out of the bag. What's Gretchen gonna say?
Anyway.
Silence. Damn it. She didn't say anything. Which I guess is beneficial for Walter, but...
Dr. Hall invented the first reproducible process for making synthetic diamonds. At the time, Dr. Hall worked for General Electric, and he made them a fortune. I mean, incalculable. You want to know how GE rewarded Dr. Hall? A $10 U.S. savings bond.
I feel like this is an analogy for Walter's own situation.
And I just, yeah. It's good. It's great.
Everything okay?
Yeah, what is up?
Just please feel comfortable coming to me with any problems, any issues. Anything at all.
Okay.
Completely confidential.
See you tomorrow, Flynn. See you, Jeffrey.
Don't know what to make of that scene. Don't know if they're hinting a romantic feeling or if it's a matter of hitting Walter's pride and ego of like people wanting to help him even though he doesn't want any help. That missing poster was it definitely hits Walter in the heart, that's for sure. Seeing that poster and what was written in that. Good luck killing the two couple, Jesse, after you spend some time with this kid.
Peekaboo.
Oh shit, here they come. God damn it, it cuts to... I don't think Jesse's gonna do it.
You ID him, and then together, you and I put a bag over their heads. We tie them up, drive them way out into the desert, strip them naked, and bury them up to their necks in a huge mound of fire ants.
That's a funny joke, Dad.
You with me?
Scorpions?
Hey.
Whoa. Nice.
Gretchen. Gray matter. The car plate.
Damn, Dad.
Yeah, Walter's not too happy to see that car. Yeah, look at... Yeah.
Look at you. You're looking good.
Oh boy.
Thank you so much for what you've done for my dad.
Ooh.
It's a really good thing.
You're very welcome.
He's going along... She's going along with it. I mean, considering her past relationship with Walter, right?
Good to see you.
The way Skylar is looking at both of them. Oh boy. The suspicions are...
Can you not do or say anything to anyone until then? Please. Please.
Yeah.
You hit me really, really hard, man. You hit me really hard. I think I'm seeing double. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to go see a
Shut
hospital
up.
or something.
Yeah. The kid's gonna come out of his room. And everything's gonna change.
There you go. All right, come on the table.
Oh, that is disgusting. Here he comes. This kid needs to find a better home. And better people to take care of him. No.
Where the hell did you get this? What, nobody saw you? What about witnesses, dumbass?
Yeah, how?
Nobody noticed. For real.
Victimless.
You! Get that thing open. You sit the hell down and no throwing fish.
Ooh, I was afraid that the dude is gonna hit Jesse when he was turning his back.
Yeah, I got you now, bitch. I got you now.
The two sides of Jesse Pinkman.
And I apologize deeply.
Thank you. Now please tell me why you did it.
That's not really at issue.
Damn it.
This is not an issue that concerns you, Gretchen, okay?
Excuse me while it does concern me.
Yeah, this whole situation is very problematic. Walter trying to juggle everything, lies and truth.
I don't owe you an explanation. I owe you an apology, and I have apologized. I am very sorry, Gretchen.
Apology is not enough.
Elliot and I offered to pay for your treatment. No strings attached. An offer which still stands, by the way. And you turn us down out of pride, whatever. And then
Yeah.
you tell
your wife that in fact we are paying for your treatment without our knowledge, against our will, you involve us in your lie. And you sit here and tell me that that is none of my business. What happened to you?
A lot. A lot has happened.
What would you know about me, Gretchen? What would your presumption about me be exactly?
Now he's antagonizing her.
Like some magic wand is going to make me forget how you and Elliot cut me out. It's my hard work, my research, and you and Elliot make millions of.
How could you say that to me? You walked away. You abandoned us. Me, Elliot.
Rich girl just adding to your millions.
I feel so sorry for you, Walt.
Fuck you.
I think this is the first time where I think Walt has went a bit too far. Crazy, I know. It's hard, but it's hard to like pinpoint exactly who is right or wrong in that situation, because they're talking about past history that we don't know much about context-wise. Like, I can't really trust Walter, I can't really trust Gretchen. Like, they both have their own perspective and their own views. But yeah.
Hey.
Oh no. Damn it.
Should I ask where you've been? Never mind. We're long past that, I suppose.
Yeah. Which is the sad part. That Skylar has accepted that, you know, she can't really get through Walter anymore.
Walt, we need to talk.
Did Gretchen tell Skylar the truth?
They're cutting off the money.
Okay. Okay. I guess that's one way too.
I'm sorry to have to do this, but Elliot and I can no longer continue to pay for Walt's treatment. I wish you the very best.
That's one way to cut ties with Walter, but there goes Walter's alibi. Plus the fact that she didn't actually rat Walter out, right? That's what Walter's thinking. So now he's thinking of an excuse.
She just couldn't bring herself to tell you today. I mean, she couldn't tell me either, really. I mean, there was a lot of...
Yeah, Skylar's... You gotta choose your words carefully, Walt.
They're broke.
You are kidding me.
I don't know if that's believable or not.
That is...
Even Skylar's dumbfounded. Oh, that little chuckle from Walter.
You know, she could have just told me herself.
Well, they're prideful people.
Oh my god.
Not to sound selfish.
Not to...
As far as we go, we'll get through this. Okay?
Wow, Walter. Wow. Spinning it around. The writing in this show is great.
I promise.
I've said that enough already, but... Wow.
And yet...
And
she
yet?
still drives a Bentley.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Skylar, come on. Is she able to see through the lie? Damn it! God damn it! But she is suspicious.
I need to
need to even out. Let me get a hit of that crystal.
He's gonna use the hammer.
Skank, skank, skank ass skank! Skank ass skank! Skank ass skank! You listen to me, skank? Huh? You hear me, skank? You are a skank ass skank!
She's gonna snap, is she?
No, don't! No!
Ain't no skank.
I hate how fleshy it sounds when it hit her, when it hit his head. It's... Whoa. Woo! There we go. Take the money and leave. Take the money and leave. Notice how Jesse's not really using his fingers. Like he's using the, using his jacket, right? No fingerprints. Really smart of him. The child?
Hey, you remember Peekaboo? Huh? Can you go Peekaboo like this? Huh? Can you keep your eyes closed?
Wow. The police are coming.
You have a good rest of your life, kid.
Jesse doesn't want the kid to be like him. Wow, what a shot. End of the episode? Wow. Wow. That storyline with Jesse. Wow. That was a pretty good episode. Wow. I wasn't sure what to think about the Jesse subplot, but that ending makes it for me. That was great. That was really great. Fantastic episode. Two standout scenes in this episode. One is the table scene between Walter and Gretchen, and then the other one is the final scene between Jesse and the little kid. I think both of these scenes kind of showcases, the strength and weaknesses of these two characters, right? Walter's pride and ego, and of course, obviously, Jesse's heart and kindness, right? Kind of goes to show like these two characters were in a position that they never belong at the start of their introduction in the show, right? Jesse being in the drug world, if you will, right? It kind of goes against his actual character of this really kind person who doesn't really want to kill people and whatever, right? But it just so happens that he is involved in this really dangerous world, whereas Walter is clearly the one that is way more dangerous than Jesse, right? But he is stuck in school teaching the mundane and all that stuff, right? And especially considering Walter's past, right? If we tie in with Gretchen and Elliot, which we haven't learned much of, but we are getting hints and kind of an idea of what happened in the past, right? There's a reason why Walter feels this way. There's a reason why Walter is very bitter against Gretchen and Elliot. Probably a reason why Walter and Gretchen fell off, right, in their relationship, right? Is the fact that Walter thinks that Gretchen and Elliot took everything that Walter built, right? You took everything from me, right? This is my research. This is my my creation and all, right? But that's Walter's perspective, right? Gretchen has her own perspective, and I would assume that Elliot also has his own perspective. So I don't think it's fair for me to immediately think that Walter's reasoning is fully justified. But at the same time, it does paint an idea of why Walter feels this way, right? Because again, like from Walter's perspective, obviously he is in the right and everybody's in the wrong, but from Gretchen's perspective, obviously she thinks that that's not all there is to it, right? There's more. There's something that Walter isn't telling her, and therefore not telling us, the audience, that there is something else, right? So it kind of, again, like that table scene kind of gives an idea of why Walter is this way, and why and what Walter what he feels in regards to Gretchen and Elliot. Probably also a reason why he declines their offer, but that's mostly because of his pride. But at the same time, it kind of adds more context to that episode in season 1, which, again, like I've already talked about, like how there's a lot of animosity between Walter and those two, and Walter's not really saying anything. He's just putting up an appearance, right? But we all know that something's going on between them. We don't know what it is. This episode kind of adds more detail into it, but we need more, right? But and then you got the table scene with Jesse. Not the table scene. The final scene with Jesse and the kid, which ties back again to like the first ever opening sequence of this episode, right? Where Jesse is just looking at the bug. He's not really hurting the bug at all. He's just playing around with him, have this sense of compassion. And then Stinky Pete comes in, squishes the bug, and Jesse's like, oh, god damn it. And it shows how much of a kind person Jesse really is. And the fact that Jesse is in this dangerous line of work kind of just makes his whole situation just a lot more difficult, right? And I wasn't sure how to feel about the entire subplot of Jesse during this episode until the very end. That the final moment of this episode is what sells that entire subplot for me, right? It's the fact that Jesse was given the task by Walter, right, to deal with it, and he's not dealing it the way Walter intends him to do, right? Jesse is dealing it his own way, his own Jesse way, and by the end, he saves the kid. And that little message that Jesse gave to the kid, right? To, you got your whole life, ahead of you, kid. And again, it kind of goes to show that Jesse just doesn't want this kid to be like Jesse. He knows that this kid is in this world, by proxy of his parents, right? In the drug world, and he doesn't want this kid to get addicted and to get into drugs as well. I mean, I already love Jesse, but this episode just kind of makes me love Jesse even more. And I think this is basically a setup on like how the potential for Jesse and Walter to break up as a duo, right? Because season 2, as I mentioned multiple times before, season 2 is like a setup season, right? It's a setup season for the future, where we're basically setting up Walter and Jesse's position in the world, right? The beginning of season 2, we start with a power vacuum. Tuco is gone. Who's gonna replace him? Obviously, Walter and Jesse, right? They are the next duo that are able to fill in that position, right? This position of power. But obviously, these two have completely different ideologies, two completely different perspectives in life and their own beliefs. That's gonna cause friction. By the end of this, they're probably gonna separate. They're probably gonna not see eye to eye anymore. They are forcing themselves to be together because of their current circumstance. But once everything is all said and done, once everything kind of, once they don't need each other anymore, they're gonna split. Like, the only reason why these two are together right now is because they need each other. Jesse's the one who's distributing the meth, and Walter's the one who is cooking the meth, right? If Walter is able to distribute the meth as well, really, there's really no need for Jesse, right? So, it's great to see this show once again reinforcing to the audience on like who is the good guy and who is the bad guy, right? I don't think Walter's a bad guy, but I mean obviously not. He's the main protagonist, but Walter is as mentioned multiple times already, and I'm sure if any of you guys are watching or listening to my discussions, you may probably feel bored when I say that Walter is a villain in his show, right? Not the antagonist, but he is a villain, right? He is. He's an anti-hero. I think an anti-hero is a better word to describe Walter and his character at the moment. He is an anti-hero, right? Like, it's really fascinating how this show handles this character, because on one hand, his situation and his cause, his reasoning, his objective is of a noble cause, right? To help save his family and to leave them in a better place when he is gone. The way he's doing it, the way he is handling this whole situation is just destroying every single relationship that he has with other people, right? He's not mending fences like he said he would in a couple of episodes ago. No, he is doing the complete opposite. He is breaking fences, and he's breaking even more fences with like Gretchen in this episode, although I feel like that is one fence that he wants to destroy for a very, very long time, and I feel like this is the moment where he has had enough. Oh man. Yeah, overall, this was such a good episode. Anyways, let's jump into some further analysis on some of the scenes of this episode. I will say that this scene where Jesse was just rehearsing what to say, again, kind of showcasing how Jesse isn't really up to this task. He isn't really, he's not really meant to be here, but he's just, again, putting up appearances, right? This appearance of somebody who's like, oh yeah, this tough guy who can, who deals meth and everything, even though he's not really, he's not really up to the task, like I said. But him just rehearsing the lines and whatever on his head, trying to find like the perfect, intimidating dialogue to say to the two couple, only to then get interrupted by the male woman here, and it's just like so, and she is just so nonchalant about this, like, Sonny, you're blocking the male pose. Can you move? And it's so funny. It's, again, it's like even she doesn't feel any intimidation from Jesse. Like, Jesse has a gun. She doesn't know it, but like Jesse's appearance, the way the way he is just sitting there, right? He's not intimidating. She's not intimidated by him, and I think that's the point, right? Good stuff. He breaks in. I love some of the yellow tint, the yellow light shaft coming in from the window. And then he befriends this young kid. This young kid who also, again, isn't supposed to be there, right? This kid, Jesse sees himself within this kid, right? The only difference is Jesse could not get out of this world. He is already in this world. This kid has a whole life ahead of him, and Jesse does not want this kid to be in the exact same situation that he is in the future, right? He sympathizes with this kid. He wants the best for this kid, and surely enough, by the end of this episode, he probably gave this kid a second chance, and that's beautiful. The whole Gretchen and Skylar situation, just, again, these two. I mean, we know that Gretchen had a relationship with Walter in the past, and us knowing that, and I don't think Skylar knows about this, but because of how Walter is handling the situation, which again, like, he tried by the end of this episode, right? He tried to give a lie for Skylar, a believable one, right, as he used to. And at first, it seems like Skylar believes him, but then she's like, wait a minute, Gretchen's still driving, you know, her very luxurious and expensive car, so, doubting him again, like, it's the fact that Skylar no longer trusts Walter anymore, right? Season 1, Skylar, she still trusts Walter no matter what. Season 2, Skylar, after what happened in the beginning, that bridge is gone. Faith in Walter just slowly declines more and more. Now this idea of Walter having an affair with Skylar and all that stuff, like, she's thinking about it, right? She is thinking about it. And this is why I was talking about, like, Walter needs to, you know, choose his words carefully, because if he words it wrong, then it's just going to feed into Skylar's suspicions on Walter more and more, straining his relationship with Skylar more. And Skylar is just gonna think about a lot of things about Walter that Walter may not be, you know, that type of person. You know, like, again, like the suspicions of having an affair and all that stuff. That's just growing more and more on Skylar, and I really feel bad for her. But at the same time, you know, Walter could have handled the situation maybe a lot better. Gretchen at least did not rat Walter out in this situation, which I find interesting, right? Because Gretchen could have easily said that Walter never took the money from them, like Walter lied to you and stuff, and that could just easily break Walter and Skylar's relationship that fast, right? Considering what Walter said to Gretchen in the table scene, right? Gretchen is deeply hurt about him. But she didn't, though. She still has some feelings. Maybe not for Walter, maybe for Skylar instead. Like, she has it's kind of like her feeling sorry for Skylar for dealing with Walter. So the least that she could do is to tell Skylar that, you know, we're not able to give Walter the money anymore. It is a lie, but it still goes with Walter's story, right? So I do find that interesting. But Gretchen lying to Skylar will and has eventually led to Walter having to lie again to Skylar, right? It's lies on top of lies on top of lies. So it's lies on top of lies on top of lies. And I don't know, maybe this is actually, I guess you could say that Gretchen following Walter's storyline in a way, right, by lying to Skylar would actually fuck Walter up, because Walter has to build up another lie, and the lie that Walter was building may not be believable for Skylar. I don't know. But either way, this whole situation is fucked. That's all that matters. This scene, when Walter is talking about this person, Tracy Hall, and how he invented this, his invention, and how this invention wasn't really rewarded. He wasn't rewarded the amount that his invention has created. Yeah, thinking about it, this just ties directly to Walter's character and his current situation, right? Walter creating, I guess, gray matter along with Elliot and Gretchen, but he's not taking that reward. They are, right? Again, there's still some mystery behind that history, right? There's still mystery within that history on what truly happened during that time. But if we were to believe Walter's words, then Walter did deserve, you know, the amount of wealth that Elliot and Gretchen had. And this feeling is just ravaging inside of Walter this entire time, right? This why have I been punished Why am I punished for my own invention? Why are people getting rewarded out of something that I created? When is my reward? Where is my reward? Why is life unfair? But then this scene happened. I don't know what to make of this scene. Are they because the way the camera is positioned, and the way she acts and the way she talks, again, she means in a very she means it in a very friendly way, right? Of, you know, if you need anything, just come to me, and you know, you can talk about it and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Am I overthinking it? It's also because of Walter's facial expression here, right? Because he is also confused about this. So I talked about this during the reaction, right? It's either Walter is unhappy because her words of like inviting Walter if Walter ever needs any help hurts his pride, because that could be the case, right? Or is Walter more confused at the fact that it seems like she is inviting him, or at least showcase? I don't know. I don't think it is of the romantic type, though. I think it's more to do with Walter's pride. I don't know. This is actually one of those scenes where I'm genuinely confused on what angle they're trying to go for. I think she just really cares for Walter, because obviously she knows about Skylar and all. Yeah, I think that works. You know, I think that's the case, actually. Her telling Walter about him, if he needs any help, he can come to her, and that may hurt Walter's pride because he doesn't need help. Why are you concerned about me? I feel like that's the case. I think Walter and Walter Jr. or Flynn's dynamic has been kind of, I don't know, sometimes good, sometimes bad. You know, like this scene during the car is good because Walter is bonding with his son, right? Sure, he's joking about like essentially torturing the people who slapped that poster in his car, but Flynn's kind of agreeing in a very joking way as well, like, let's use scorpions instead and all that stuff. Like that's kind of, it's fun, right? It's this dark humor bonding experience, whatever you want to call it. But then, like a couple of episodes ago, they were driving a car, and you know how that turns out, and how sour Walter feels because Walter Jr. doesn't really need any help, but Walter wants to help him. Yeah, I don't know. It's this teetering between good and bad. It's always neutral, I would say. Curious to see how Walter and Flynn's dynamic will become in later seasons. Like, I can kind of predict Walter and Skylar probably having a divorce, or just, you know, split apart completely, because right now we are on that trajectory of Skylar not trusting Walter anymore. But I don't know about Walter and Flynn, though. I don't know. Since they are starting in a pretty rocky situation, in a rocky place at the start of the series. I would probably say that Walter and Flynn is probably gonna have a better relationship moving forward. But of course, that could just immediately take a nosedive once Walter's secret is out. So I don't know, but I am enjoying this dynamic between the two. Like, it's very realistic, I would say. Like this father and son dynamic of like, yeah, you can't really hate him because he's your dad, or you can't really hate him because he's your son, you know. But at the same time, these two can do some pretty dumb, stupid shit, and you can't really forgive them. But at the same time, they're your father, they're your son. So yeah, I can relate to this in a way. Yeah, I think this is pretty realistic. So yeah, good scene. And then you have this. Aaron Paul's acting in this episode has been really great. But this part where it turns out that they, what does that say? Wine her? Dine her? 69 her? But the fact that they stole this ATM, like, and even Jesse's like confused and like, wait, how did you steal this ATM exactly? How did you move this from this store to your house? And then obviously one person sadly passed away. I think he's holding, what is this, a bat? Oh. Is that? Hang on. Is that the person that helped Walter and Jesse in episode 2? I don't know, he kind of has like this long hair if I remember correctly. Let me check. Oh yeah, it kind of, I think it is. I think it is the same person. Obviously, they don't have like the mustache and the beard in season 1 episode 2, but I think that is the same person. Huh, interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong though, but I think it is the same person. This scene is great. I don't know how else to describe it and except for, yeah, this scene is great. The acting between these two is great. I enjoyed the scene a lot. There's this kind of tension building up from, you know, from them kind of having an understanding in the beginning, and then it just erupts to fuck you at the end. I love the acting between these two. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I think this is a great scene. Moving on. I really love the ending of this episode. I really do. Jesse calling 911, right, without actually telling them what goes on. So they're going to send a dispatch to this place, right? But then as he leaves, he decided to go back to the kid. Close your eyes, just like what they did in the beginning of the episode, right? Peekaboo. Close your eyes. Brings the kid out. Wraps him around a blanket, right? To keep him warm. Stay here, don't do anything. You got your whole life ahead of you. And then he leaves. Jesse saves this kid. He saved this kid because he sees this kid. He sees himself in this kid, right? This kid has a lot of potential and he doesn't want this kid to be involved in any of this. He knows he can't really give this kid the life that he deserved. So at least what he did was he took this kid out of the life that he doesn't deserve. And as the police sirens comes in, episode ends. Great scene. Great scene. And that is it for Breaking Bad Season 2, Episode 6. Fantastic episode, once again, from Breaking Bad. Wow, what a surprise. There's never gonna be a bad Breaking Bad episode, is there? Everything's great, everything's good. I love it here. Anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for watching this video, this reaction, and this discussion as well, if you are still here. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already as well. Share the video. Early access is available on Patreon. Links are in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Have a nice day. Peace.